you know, making sure that, you know, that they have every piece of tech they need going into this. And just like you predicted, here's the Raiden.
All right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It worked when they fought before. It just wouldn't make much sense for him to change. I mean, I know he's going to be confident in various characters, but this was a very specific choice. You know, this was, you have range, you want to control neutral. I'm going to play a character that can bypass neutral, and your armor is only going to do so much to save you from all of my offense. So the grand finals here, K-Top winner's side. For those unfamiliar with the double elimination format, basically means that if K-Top wins this 3 out of 5, that's it, he wins the tournament. If MakoraN wins this 3 out of 5, K-Top essentially gets put into loser's bracket, and we go one more time.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of double elimination tournaments. Everyone has 2 tournament lives, while K-Top still has both his intact. MakoraN is down to his final tournament life. Whoa, the down 2 again. You want to get more than your opponent gets. So that's just the amazing micro decisions being made here by MakoraN, and that's the difference we're going to be seeing in this last set. Goes for the last hit there, and K-Top didn't see it coming.
Yeah, even with the extra health.
Yeah, I thought maybe that extra health was going to be the difference, but no, clearly it was not. The second time we've seen that Kano laser coming out at full screen. It just goes through both characters and really slowing down that recharge of Serena. So as you can see here, a successful Kano laser slows down Serena while Kano comes back so quickly.
Kano did interrupt that punish from being as much as it could have been. That's a full combo again to chase down. And this is an extra element to this matchup that might make it not particularly fun for Astra, is that Raiden's ability to chase her armor is actually better than you'd think. However, full combo now. MakoraN, chance to swap it over. Side switch here. Meaty, there's the down 1. Kano to create another situation, possibly baiting an armor there. MakoraN is going to have to be so careful to not do Serena knives up close.
Where was the rest of that?
Baits out, well, fakes out the armor. Punish, too far away.
Not close enough, not close enough, and just those electric hands barely whiffing.
That is one.
I didn't know there was a range where
Raiden.
the forward 4-3 was too far away to connect.
Yeah, it's a nuance to playing Raiden, because at the max distance, forward 4-3 shocker whiffs, but EX down back 3 doesn't. So you kind of have to acknowledge whether you're too far away and go for a different launcher, which results in a slightly different combo. More of this chip damage. Whiffs though. MakoraN with the whiff punish. That's one thing you have to do fighting Raiden Kano. You have to be so reactive with how you fight this character. You cannot let a single teleport go unpunished, even if it's down 2.
Just stop it and extract. Don't let him get anything for it.
That's a lot of chip damage.
That's a lot of chip.
Punish. Speaking of which, I mean, look, Raiden is an overwhelming character, but it doesn't mean you have 0 options. And part of playing at this level is understanding, even if this character is difficult to fight, especially at this level of play, if I have options anywhere in the match, I have to make sure I'm doing them. I've got to make sure I'm flawless blocking down back 3 to the best of my ability. There are so many small details that they're not huge, but they matter enough.
Yeah, all those little pieces do add up significantly throughout, you know, the whole spectrum of fully understanding a matchup. That was a weird little exchange there when he jumped over the teleport, kind of shifted Raiden weirdly. Oh, that was very smart presence of mind to know that the Kano was coming out. And again, that could be MakoraN's eye on that cameo bar because there's no audio cue for that. So, you know, like you would have for Striker, you have to pay attention. And it's such a little tiny thing to see, but you can really focus.
Yeah, looking at the cameo gauge is a pretty big part of the matchup, and oh my lord, punishes it on the other side. Don't see that every day. MakoraN looking a lot more solid. So when they fought in winners finals, MakoraN was getting like overwhelmed by all of this stuff. But but it's not like MakoraN hasn't played this matchup before. You're not going to be a high-level Mortal Kombat player and have never fought Raiden. Like, this is one of the most common characters, if not the most common competitive character.
Yeah, and again, I think it's more of like the simplicity of the matchup of the character, the game plan, if you will.
Absolutely.
Forward throw from MakoraN, pushing K-top. And again, when you have a huge life lead like that, you're totally willing. Reversal punish. I didn't know that. I didn't
that
know
eye laser is not a good move. It's look, I have been a firm believer that I actually consider Kano's eye laser probably the worst move in the game. When you can block it from full screen like that and get double knife Serena full combo, that is a unfortunate move.
Yeah, that's tough. And there it is. That was back to the very beginning of that winner's final set. Neutral jumping to kind of deal with that forward 4-3.
I'm not going to feel bad, by the way. Kano Knives and Kano Ball more than make up for a 1 week move. There are 2 others you can use that are fantastic. Now 1 round apiece too.
This is close. This is down to the wire. Stuck in underneath here. Watch out. Oh, this time he waited.
Smart
This
stuff.
time he waited to get those knives on the recovery. Didn't do anything. But again, it could have also been MakoraN a little bit too late to go with that down 2. That teleport is quick.
It's a weird one because, like, getting the down 2 in time to punish a teleport, you actually have to be surprisingly on it because it recovers faster than you'd think. Oh, the up block, the read.
Huge read. Normally that overhead is super safe on block, but if you try to go for a huge risk and go for an up block, which can be easily punished,
hang on a minute,
that's going to be a great situation for you. Doesn't get the punish, but again, the Kano knives covering him either way. So I don't know if that was like a weird hesitation, like he
I know what it was meant
wanted
to
to
be.
punish, and then he's like, oh wait, no, last second.
I know what that was meant to be because it was
Tell
a
me.
standing 2 and not a full string. I'm willing to bet anything that was meant to be standing. I think it was standing 2 anyway. Whatever that button was, into Fatal Blow, because the Kano knives were on the way, but they would have absolutely have just been absorbed by the armor.
Yeah.
It's a specific thing in the matchup when Raiden does something like that into Kano knives and you have Fatal Blow, button into Fatal Blow is basically a guaranteed punish because you absorb the knives and then you win the round.
Yeah, and we learned a few sets ago that stand 1 into Fatal Blow doesn't work.
Yeah, and standing 2 had more range as well. The only problem is MakoraN didn't do a micro dash. He tried to do a standing 2 on its own and it was too far.
It's also one of those things where, like, you don't get put in that situation often in a real match. So when the time comes, are you going to clutch it out or are you going to choke?
It was honestly just a unfortunate mishap of spacing right there. Just a little bit closer, that button would have done it and would have been popping off over it. However, there's a whole new match taking place and it's... Look, again, it whiffs! Oh, it's unfortunate. You've got to move a little bit far forward and it's one of the difficulties of the back forward 3.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like that's a lot of Raiden's moves in general. Like, he's one of those characters where, like, you have to specifically go into the lab to learn how your character can optimally punish all these unsafe things. But then you throw Kano assist into the realm, into the blender, if you will, and then you have to, like, worry about all these other things. Drops the second part of that hit.
That's why I thought he was going to Fatal Blow, because that was guaranteed. I know it's... A combo technically would have been all right for that, but if Fatal Blow's going to win at that range and there was even a 5% chance forward 3-4 was whiffing, I think the Fatal Blow was worth it.
I mean, K-Top could be letting this slip between his, right through his fingers.
Possibly. I mean, I guess the benefit is that at least he has the comfort zone of winner's bracket.
It's true.
All right,
but when you're going up against the same opponent, you know they're capable of making you bleed. You know they're capable of taking that nice down 2 there. Overheads after overheads, the safe option, but it is going to be the option that leads into no damage. So MakoraN definitely willing to take a few of those overheads before he decides to do something risky like up block again. Keeping it nice and simple here. Watching your feet. Here comes the forward throw from Kano. But all these little hits, all these little throws are adding up, and this is pretty much a tied round right here.
The scary thing about this situation, and oh, I was going to elaborate before that armored interruption. What I was going to say is the moment you've got about 300 health left and Raiden has 2 Kanos, that is a scary territory. Well, MakoraN needs merely 1 match, and we're going to reset this bracket and start again. I must say, MakoraN, I think he has just been playing... It's one of the reasons I think Raiden is such a scary character in competitive is he does demand you to play pretty perfect against him. All of these small little details you have to do. If you don't do them, he's going to have such an advantage over you. But MakoraN has just been making so many great decisions. The use of armor, the punishes, the interruptions, even though they haven't even 100% worked, because obviously, hasn't punished the Superman enough times to make it count yet, but the idea is there. We know that's what we have to do.
Can we talk about that Kano knife, that second one, just being that perfect air conversion? Like he was ready for it. It's almost like he's been in that situation plenty of times before. Kano knives to extend it.
Meet you down
and that's one of those things where I feel like Kano knives are a little bit easier to extend into more combos versus a very similar cameo like striker grenades. But they are a little bit slower. They do hit as high, so you can really duck under them a lot easier than the striker grenades. A lot easier to low profile them, but still, you got your other uses.
Yeah, I see a lot of people actually regularly ask questions like, why don't Raiden players just use striker? I mean, it's the same thing. In his case, it actually isn't. I'm not going to elaborate. Obviously, there's a match going on right now, but you can see the benefit of the Kano, not just because of the knives, but the Kano ball. And there's the meterless corner pickup. Thank you, Serena Flip.
Oh, what a conversion, wow. But Armor's out of there. He is just one fatal blow from making this happen, though. And this is the dangerous situation that you were talking about here. Almost has the Kanos loaded up. Jumping over, getting under.
Punish! Drop it again!
He dropped that round, the game-winning combo there right in front of him. So unfortunate.
He's dropped the round-winning combo in that exact instance twice now, when in both times Fatal Blow was right there. That second time, I kind of get it because there was even less health. The combo would have done, but I don't know, Fatal Blow, all you got to do is press like RT and LT, like, or whatever. That's what you got to do.
2 little buttons, that's all you need.
That's not even like you had to save the resource. K-Top had won a round.
All right, this is getting scary because he's relying a lot more on throws. But again, every single throw is a huge risk. So is he going to keep, dipping his finger into the cookie jar?
Knows he's far enough away. Ashura can't deal with it there. Takes the minus frames.
Didn't get the double rang, though. Didn't believe. But again, also a huge risk at that range against Raiden because a double rang could mean a full combo punish.
If Serena hits a single double knife here, MakoraN resets the bracket, and K-Top knows that. Now the question is, does K-Top? He's gonna have to look for one thing on block, and that's it. Reset time. 3-1 for MakoraN, and now we start again.
Oh man, the perfect range. He walked back out of there, made Raiden whiff, clipped the toes, and MakoraN bet it all on that. And again, MakoraN had a little bit of wiggle room there. Did have another game to play with this set, but we have a bracket reset. K-Top has officially lost that first tournament life. So now both players on their final tournament life, double elimination. You have to lose twice to be out of this tournament. So this is going to be the grand final reset. The final set, first to 3 from here, wins the entire tournament.
Quite a few times, whether it's variation change, move change, whatever it was, whatever the Mortal Kombat. It's never off the cards, right? Even now.
Armoring to get out of there, armoring back. I feel like it's very common when you armor somebody, they just want to armor you back. Not for like necessarily a great position, but just more of like, they want to hold the momentum instead of letting you have it. Good punish there. Ashura getting the very tip of that normal to come out and just perfectly connect. That was a
Tries
very
to go.
weird one. So he was like past the max range. You're expecting the block. You're expecting a punishment ball situation, and you get caught in this weird little scramble. Can we talk about how smart that was? That he just drained the meter there at the end for minimal resources.
It just guaranteed that even if there was a small chance K-Top would have built bar with the Serena out, no you ain't. That round is mine. Now, Kano coming back out again. Flawless block on that third hit. Again, doing what you can. The armor is making such a difference here, and MakoraN, I think one of the major changes compared to when we first started seeing this matchup get played in this tournament was that MakoraN was kind of trying to do what he always did, which was in this top 8, he's playing range, he's playing control, he's playing at a distance that benefits him. The moment that he has now started to basically brawl and fight this Raiden up close so much more, it's making a huge difference now, because it's like, well, look, if I can fight up close better than you can, I can still win this game.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Most people feel like they're putting Astra out of their comfort zone up close, but you don't want to be full screen away from Raiden. I mean, he's just gonna do whatever he wants, set up whatever he wants, chip you out however you want. Speaking of chip, that's not gonna be enough, and that's a big punish. Huge miscalculation here coming from MakoraN.
Sort of flurry was, people rarely use it at the end of a string like that. I wonder if that was the idea, to be like, you're going to release block because people never do this. And K-Top just, blocked, I guess.
I'm not sure. I mean, sometimes you get, hyped up in that situation. You're worrying about so much, so you don't see everything so clearly.
Yeah, maybe.
Poking him over and over again, just keeping him in check, making sure that he's not trying to score him out, not trying to whip out a throw. But K-Top does get his offense going. And like I said, last time, he did back-to-back armor. You armor me, I'm going to armor you. But this time, MakoraN sniffing it out perfectly.
And this time, knowing that Kano wasn't available, so we can punish that properly. We haven't got to worry about no knives, and there's another game here for MakoraN. For the first time, has taken the lead in this grand finals now. K-Top was sent to losers bracket via the reset, and now MakoraN with one game up. All of a sudden, that momentum has drastically tipped in the favor of this Astra. And this is kind of what I was thinking about this armor. I was like, look, the Raiden hasn't worked for quite a few games. Are we now going to be in a position where K-Top's like, right, I'm going to totally swap this up?
Yeah, and I feel like this is the opportunity to do it. You don't want to do this when you have, when you're down 2-0. At least give your Tanya a little bit of breathing room to, get ready and get back into full shape.
Like I said, K-Top and H-Dope, they play very similar with the Tanya, and H-Dope was so close to defeating MakoraN. K-Top, no doubt, has seen that matchup and is like, well, what would I do different?
And you also just got done playing a different Tanya, so you're already used to somebody else's tendencies, even though that other person is your twin brother. Tendencies are different.
And that's one thing I find interesting about this matchup. Neither of these characters can whip their... Well, maybe at max range they can, but yeah, they can't whiff those standing highs like that.
Wow, you're right. Exact deal breaker. Oh, we're spinning in. We're going in.
And that's not the first time we actually saw that exact thing from H-Dope before, where it was fatal blow and then you instantly meet you down back 4. Like, that's absolutely a thing that they do, isn't it? For sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's just a very great situation for Tanya.
Yeah. You have to pretty perfectly time your flawless block on wake up there. I mean, I've never learned that. I've never done that before. K-Top. It's Tanya. Looking good, actually. Turnaround. All right, reverse throw. He said at the start, good time to change character because it gives your Tanya just a little bit of time just in case you needed that extra game. I think K-Top doing it now and clearly not needing that at all is perfect for it. Now, MakoraN, big damage. Goro, respect, down 1. Okay. Now, the Tanya's looking real good, but it's not, we're not even yet. Oh! Serena to absorb it again. No, armor. We're psychic.
Telling you.
We're psychic.
Telling you, it's right. That's where it's shifting. Whatever your cameo can do, whatever hit your cameo can take. Some of them are better than others at doing it, but you know, everyone can do it. Gotta access it.
It's the next layer of the meta, I think. Now, unfortunately, MakoraN did miss the projectile there, or whatever that was. Might have been a projectile, might have been a stance thing, I don't know. Still a... Oh, no, K-Top! Oh, no!
That should have been it.
MakoraN missed the
That
punish!
should have been it. He lives to see another day just because of that missed punish. He's going to be in the corner. Obviously, no fatal blow accessible, but not enough.
Man, that's now 2 times. Actually, not only that, from 2 separate players. The first person we saw use Serena to absorb an enemy projectile was Fish Like Steve. And we saw MakoraN do the same thing. It's how... It is a next layer of the meta, because we've seen Scorpion players do it a lot. Obviously, we were talking earlier about Tremor. Shujinko technically can, but no one plays him. There's a lot of characters where you only use one move, and then you got to obviously manage him running around, which I love. But anyway, 2-0 here for MakoraN. And at this change, oh, K-Top, while I was talking about, you know, very important conversation of Shujinko in this grand finals, change back to Raiden, and I totally missed it. They're both wearing
back to
very
Raiden,
cool
I guess,
hats.
just kind of ditching all efforts there with Tanya. I mean, I don't think it was so one-sided, but I think the decision was made a long time ago, so this is going to be tough for K-Top to make this comeback.
Yeah, I could only imagine that Tanya didn't make as much of an impact on that match as K-Top is satisfied with, because he knows that the Raiden can be close as well, right? All right. Oh, she
sends it out to you.
Serena absorbed the first hit, and then Ashra got hit by the second. That was cinematic.
I also love like the slowdown at the round end where you just see them like flipping up in the air.
That was cool. I like that.
Oh, down 2 gonna get the better of that exchange. MakoraN on point right now.
Again, pretty surgically timed actually, because that knife was significant. And actually, punishing it with the uppercut.
The Kano didn't make a reaction there with Ashra. Like, he was just a little too far away.
Yeah, I think it's because the uppercut, it just moved her to a safe distance. Yeah, MakoraN has been the master of knowledge in this grand finals. Like, for real, there's been so much small little details that, of course, right now, MakoraN on tournament point, and this would be quite a victory.
I love how K-Top teleported there, recognizing that Kano ball was going to hit, and then wanted to keep that pressure going. Waking up with those down pokes, getting that hit, getting that huge frame advantage. Neutral jump again. A great way to deal with that forward 4-3 string from Raiden, but you know, it is a big call out, it is a big challenge.
Massive flawless block. That's not only going to deny the chip damage, but shut down the meter build from K-Top.
No bar on either side. These guys are so low on resources. Those cameo bars are coming back very slowly.
Oh!
I think that was an input error.
Yeah,
I think side switch.
I think the teleport reversed the inputs, but I don't think it's going to matter because we're going to get neutral jump. Bang! Into a combo finish. MakoraN, after a bracket reset, manages to finish the job and take it 3-0 post reset over K-Top. Ashra and Serena all the way, looking unbelievably strong, and I think really impressive way to close out this tournament.
Yeah, unless you've been where I've been, you